Well, good evening and welcome to Rebels Weekly Podcast here on the Open Road Network. We are live right now in studio and in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Stay tuned as we start the Rebels Weekly's first ever podcast right now. So welcome here to Rebels Weekly. My name's Jonathan Turner. I'll be your host here this evening and every Thursday moving forward as we cover all things Rebels soccer here on the Open Road Network. Right now, I'm live here in my studio here in Macomb County, Michigan, and out there you're seeing on the screen is Rebels FC training. They are training right now here, getting ready for their weekend matchups that we'll talk about here a little bit later in the show. Rebels FC is a soccer club based out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. They are a club that is designed for players who are looking to take their game to the next level. And what I mean by the next level, playing for, in addition to high school, playing at that next level of college at the competitive level. A lot of kids, like myself for that matter, when I was playing soccer as a kid, after high school, you only really had a chance to play in those recreational leagues, like the Troy local clubs or your city recreational, maybe your co-ed leagues, things like that, or play at college, either on your intramural teams, club teams, or part of your college programs. Now, if you didn't have a college, you didn't have the ability to play at the next level in college, then of course you'd play in those recreational leagues. Well, the really cool thing is about like Rebels FC and a lot of clubs here across the state of Michigan and across the country is that this gives you that ability to play competitively still in a very structured and organized way. And Rebels FC is one of the fastest growing clubs in Michigan with over 120 players that play both on the men's side and women's side of the club. It's, again, very interesting. They play in a number of different leagues. Those leagues consist of the Michigan Premier Soccer League, UPSL, the Michigan United Soccer League, United Women's Soccer League 2, and the Great Lakes Women's Soccer League. All of those leagues and more coming here in 2022. And when I said before is that this club, Rebels FC, was founded in 2016 by Mr. Robert Brinkman. Robert Brinkman, a humble man, doesn't like to get on camera too often. I'm going to get him on here once. I will get him on here, I promise you. But nonetheless, Rebels FC was formed in 2016, and it was created for those who wanted to play at a competitive soccer at multiple levels without the politics and the ridiculous costs. Perfect for that college student who needs to stay fit over the summer. Perfect for the 30-year-old who wants to play competitively. Also perfect for the 7 to 18-year-old who is looking to see what it's like to compete at the next level. And the really cool thing about Rebels is that there's a number of players that play, when I say play at a very high level in the program. For example, we've got Justice Tillotson, who will be part of us here a little bit later this in the show here. Justice is from Rochester, Michigan, and plays at Michigan State. You've got Lauren Turner, who scored the goal for the Rebels FC here this past Saturday. She's from Shelby Township, Michigan, and plays at Indiana Wesleyan. Then you've got, Bailey Pattinson, who plays at Marshall. So there's a number of players in the program that play at a very high level, a number of players that play at Oakland University. And so that's really exciting. Again, a number of really high-level players. I think the last time we checked, we have players that play in over 16 states across, I believe, 65 different schools here in the United States. So very, very interesting, to say the least. Each and every week, we're going to cover a number of things here on this show. We're going to cover the last week's results, talking about, what players did here as part of the Rebels FC program. what their schedule will look like going forward, upcoming games, promo, our game of the week, which our game of the week this week on Sunday. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. We'll interview players and coaches from the past week and their success and things that have happened with them. We're going to talk to about, I think, between 5 and 6 players tonight at training, where, like I said, right now they're training as we speak. Training gets underway for them at 9 p.m. here every Tuesday and Thursday evening. And as you can see right now, they're getting themselves all fixed up and ready to go. So, we have our camera person right now moving the camera so you can see what the girls' side is doing, what the guys' side is doing. So we'll have player interviews here in a few moments. We'll talk about exciting things with the club and anything that we believe is worthy here of a conversation as part of this weekly podcast. We encourage your engagement. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. So please, by all means, we're live right now on Facebook and on YouTube, on Twitter. We're live on Twitch as well as Twitter. So please, by all means, hang out, stay with us, and be engaged. A new thing that we're starting this Saturday at our game of the week is player of the game. We'll talk about that today a little bit and dive into some other things here. But what we're going to do here real quick, we're going to take our first break. This first break is brought to you here by the Open Road Network. It talks a little bit about what we do here at the Open Road and how we're helping amateur podcasters get a voice in a very noisy and complicated world. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here on the other side. The Open Road Network is an online amateur podcast network designed for everyone. The goal of the network is to help give a voice to those who want to have a voice in a noisy and complicated world. The Open Road Network was created with the intent to provide amateur podcasters with a platform to make a difference. The Open Road Network's mission is to provide multi-level content through the voice of the amateur podcaster while providing a structured, organized, polished support system to grow the viewership of the overall network. Our goal is to inspire, to motivate, to entertain, and to challenge. The Open Road Network supports all podcasters and helps give them a platform to talk and do what they are passionate about. Join the Open Road Network 7 days a week as we go live covering everything from business and politics, sports and entertainment, motivation, and much more. Make sure you head to the Open Road Network at youtube.com. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and that way you're notified every time we go live or add new content. Well, welcome back here to the Open Road presentation here of Rebels Weekly, which is a weekly podcast that covers all things Rebel soccer here on the Open Road Network. My name's Jonathan Turner. I'm the play-by-play announcer for Rebels FC, and momentarily we're going to have some players here join us from the Rebels. We're going to have some of the goal scorers here from this past week's game, where the Rebels FC men's team playing in the Riverfront Champions Cup beat Rain FC here 5-3. So as a matter of fact, let's take a look at the results from last week. On Saturday at the Canton Cup, and Canton Cup this past weekend is where your Rebels FC UWS2 team played against Detroit City FC. And that game, unfortunately, the Rebels FC lost that game 1-2 here. Lauren Turner did score a goal in that game, and she'll be joining us here shortly. And then on Sunday at noon in Kalamazoo, your Rebels FC handily beat Rain FC 5-3. Shea Sistari had 2 goals. Grant Harrison had a goal. Ray Yokoyama had a goal. And Brandon Weiland also scored here to wrap up the scoring for your men's team there in Kalamazoo. So we're going to be joined here momentarily by Shea Sistari, who did score a goal here this past 2 goals and an assist this past Sunday. And we'll have him here join us soon. Now, as far as what you can expect in regards to our players and how we promote them each and every week, we will continuously have new marketing and new things as part of our lineup and part of our shows here, not only on the actual podcast itself, but also in regards to the games. And we'll show you some new marketing here for our games here in the coming in the coming segments here throughout the show. We're waiting and standing by here for Shay Starr to join us. If Shay can't join us, we'll have we'll have Lauren Turner and Justice Tillotson join us. But we'll do that here in a second. But right now, the Rebels, as you can see here, they're getting their training on right now. They're getting ready for the matchup this week, and that's your women's team right there in front of you. Their matchup this weekend here against AFC Plymouth in the UWS 2. That game is the game of the week here, brought to you by the Open Road Network. Rebels FC right now are 1-0, and the AFC Plymouth team is 0-2-0. They have not won a game. As a matter of fact, they have the worst goal differential right now in the league with -11. They haven't scored a goal, and they've been scored on obviously 11 times. Lost a match early in the season, I believe, to Corktown 8-0. We'll see how this game shapes up here on Saturday. Right now, it looks like your Rebels FC have a good spot, a good opportunity here to get a W here on Saturday. Hopefully, they can do that. We got Shay Sestari here coming to the podcast right now. What up, Shay? Wait, I can't hear you. You might have to touch the screen. You there? You might have to touch the screen. Up, there you go. Shay, you there? I can't hear you right now. But you can hear me. All right, but I can't hear you. Maybe rotate and go around the other side. Have him rotate the camera and go around to the other side. Maybe that might help. Because I cannot hear you at all. So let's edit mic settings. Nope. Let's see on live here. Shay, you there? Oh, wait. Are you there? Shay. Nope. Let's see here. Mic is on. I don't know. Mic isn't picking up. We can hear you. Okay, well. Touch the screen, please. All right, and nothing's happening? Because it was working earlier, but again, this is... Nope. All right, so let's do this. Exit and come back. Maybe Rob's. Maybe is it possible that Rob's Bluetooth are connected to it by chance or no? Here's what we do. I'm going to kick you from the studio. Just re-enter doing the exact same thing you did before. That might help. And let's do this. Let's kick from the studio. So what we'll do is, as in anything in live, we deal with technical difficulties on the fly, and that's why we do what we do. But hopefully he'll hop back off here in a second, and we'll be able to hear him here. Let's double check something real quick here, because my settings are okay. They are, so I don't know what was going on there. Click the link and come back. Let's see if it makes a difference.
I can hear you.
There we go. I can hear you guys now.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Shay.
What up?
Well, not much, man. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm fantastic, man. Well, welcome here to Rebels Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where we talk all things Rebel soccer.
Looking forward to it.
Well, so let's go back to the game here on Sunday. You had 2 goals here against the Rain FC. Let's talk about those goals. Let's talk about goal number 1.
Let's see. Goal number 1 was a cross from Brandon. I literally had to time my run because I didn't know what ball he was going to play across the box. And then literally had to time that one, had to beat a defender to get to it. Oh, wait. No, that was the second goal.
No, that's okay.
What was the first goal?
I flicked it on.
Do you want a refresher? Because I have the goals.
First goal, it was a cross.
It was
a cross.
Me, flicked on header.
Oh, yeah. Throw into Grant's head. Grant flicked it on. It was straight to me. I did a side bicycle.
That's right. And then the second goal, I know that there were some questions about whether or not we should score it to you or not. But as the official scorekeeper for that game, it's your goal.
Yeah, I would give it to myself as well. I put in a lot of the effort there. The guy, he just stood there, so you can give it to me.
No, that's awesome, man. So why don't you tell the viewers here a little bit about yourself? What brought you to Rebel Soccer and why you're a part of this program?
What brought me here was honestly I was just trying to play as high as I can go right now, and I've been longtime friends with Giuseppe, another player on the team, and I constantly was texting him. I'm like, hey, can I come out and practice? Can I come out and practice? He would say yeah, and then he would say yeah. Let me text Rob. Wouldn't get back, and then once
You're good.
And then once I finally got a hold of Rob, COVID hit, and then quarantined for like the however months that we were in quarantine, and then finally I got in touch with him again, and I had to reach out to him on Facebook, and then I finally got to a practice and started. To be honest, I wasn't even expecting on even playing. I just wanted to. I thought I was one of the old guys, so I was just going to show up to practice and just be a practice player, and then play like co-ed at like Total Frazier. But no, I ended up playing, and Rob kept on texting me and saying, "Hey, you want to come to this game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm available." That's how I got here.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, what I would say is one of the hardest working players in the game on Sunday was you. From sitting in the play-by-play, as the announcer of that game, I can tell you from just watching how you moved on that field that you never stopped.
Yeah, that's my style of play. I can't just sit back. I'm always running. I got to the point where Rob was like, let one of the younger guys up top run. Like, you sit back. And I'm just like, I physically can't do that, Rob. I'm like, Brandon wouldn't have got his goal if I was just sitting back.
And that's true because you had 2 goals and an assist, and you assisted Brandon on his goal.
Correct.
Yeah. So, very, very cool. Well, Shay, man, thank you very much for being a part of this and for giving us your insight into the goals here and your assists from this last Sunday. I look forward to having further conversations with you on the show here in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John.
Hey, no worries, man. Next up, I believe we have Grant Harrison, who also scored a goal here on Sunday.
John, how's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well today. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So on Sunday, you scored a goal. It was a penalty shot, but let's take the audience through what it's like to be taking a PK in a tournament.
So first off, I'd just like to say Adam made a fantastic run, got his body in there, took one for the team, fell down there, and as I was going to run and help him up, I said, hey, thanks for this one, because I knew I was going to be on it. I talked to Rob on the car ride over there and said, I just had a feeling we were going to get a PK today, and if we got one, it was going to be on me. So I'd like to thank Adam for that one. But stepping up for a PK, you just kind of clear your thoughts. You pick your spot, and you know where you're going, and that's kind of where it's at. You got to have a certain level of confidence when you're stepping up there because it's really just one-on-one, you and the goalie, but you are expected to score, and I'm happy to say that's what we did.
Awesome, man. No, that's great. And, one thing I asked to Shay is, what brought you to the Rebels? Why the Rebels? Our viewers and our audience right now who don't know much about the Rebels want to learn more about what it is that, what brings players to the Rebels right now.
So I actually met Rob a couple of years ago. I was playing just kind of an indoor Sunday league with a couple of friends, and we were playing against a team with a couple of the Rebels players on there, and Giuseppe Palazzolo was one of the founding guys here.
Yeah.
So we had played high school ball together and club growing up. So we were friends. And when we started playing in the little indoor league against each other and together, he introduced me to Rob. And I was just in college in my senior year, I believe. So I was just looking for something during the summer to kind of stay in shape, touch the ball a little bit and get a little bit better. So I started practicing with the team. We started playing a couple of games here and there, and I love the people here. They're always supportive. Everyone's a really good person, first and foremost, and I think we have some talent, especially this year and moving forward. So it's an exciting young team. I'm one of the older guys at 24, but I like kind of being a coach on the field, and you feel it in Rebels. You feel like your voice is heard. So you see something on the field, or if there's something you want to work on in practice, there's always a voice to listen.
No, that's great words, man. And I love the fact that you were thinking about taking a PK well before you ever got to the field, which is
actually,
the power of positivity and what that can do to circumstances on a soccer field is and in life for that matter.
How it came up in the car. So a couple of years ago when I was playing on Rebels, we had a game at Oakland University, and we had 2 games left in the year, and we were fighting for top 3 in the table to see who was going to move up a division or kind of stay where we were at. And we were playing, I forget the team, but we had 2 penalty kicks that game, our second to last game of the year, and I stepped up on both of those and converted them both. So we ended up moving up a division a couple of years ago, and then I took a gap year last year just with everything going on with the coronavirus and whatnot. So it's something I think about, and as a leader on the team, I definitely wanted to be in that position and was very confident going into it.
Wow, that's awesome, Grant. Again, I appreciate all the things you just said, and I wish you much success this season and part of the Rebels FC program. And this Saturday at 10 a.m., you guys are looking to wrap up the table there and get yourselves into the final on June 27th in the Riverfront tournament here on Saturday.
Absolutely, looking forward to the game on Saturday. First tournament of the year for us, so we're hoping to come out on top, and I think we're going to field a good squad and be very competitive and very confident going into the game.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, Grant, man, thank you very much, man. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We'll be joined by Lauren Turner and Justice Tillotson from the UWS2 League team for Rebels FC. We'll be right back here after a quick word here about Rebels soccer. We're back.
Thanks, John.
The Rebels FC is one of the fastest growing semi-professional clubs in Michigan. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, then look no further than Rebels FC. The Rebels play and practice at Oak University in Rochester Hills, Michigan. They've created a competitive, hard-working, and fun environment with a focus on becoming a family. The Rebels FC have some of the best and brightest coaches in the area and are here to take your game to the next level. The Rebels have a team and league for you whether you are a high school junior or a college sophomore. The Rebels play in the top women's leagues in the state of Michigan and the Midwest during the spring and summer. They play in the Michigan Premier Soccer League, United Women's Soccer League 2, UPSL, Great Lakes Women's Soccer League, and the MUSL. The only question is, do you have what it takes to join the rebellion? Welcome back to Rebels FC here weekly, the podcast here brought to you by the Road Network. I am joined by Lauren Turner now. Lauren,
Hi.
welcome here to welcome to the first ever edition of the weekly podcast for our Rebels FC.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, so on Saturday, you scored a goal here against Detroit City FC. It's actually not your first goal this season. I believe it's your second goal this season. So, and I believe you also have an assist. So you are currently the leading points getter right now for the Rebels.
Yeah.
So why don't you walk me through the goal here on Saturday?
Yeah, so the ball got crossed in, I'm pretty sure by Jaina, and then Justice got a little tip on the ball, and then I just tried to put it back into the net, and so it kind of worked out.
Okay, so questions I've been asking, the gentleman so far tonight is what brought you here to the Rebels program. For the viewers and the audience who does not know Rebels right now, does not know this program, we want them to know what makes Rebels a destination for players like you.
Yeah, so I've played on 2 different summer teams the past 2 summers, and it just didn't really work out for me. But once I came to the Rebels, I got in contact with Rob, and I came in for a couple of training sessions in December, and the girls just welcomed me in. So I was like, well, I think I'm going to start playing during the summer. And so I came out to the summer, and I really enjoyed being with all of the different girls, and it just felt a lot more like a family and very connected. And the girls just went out of their way to welcome me in and stuff like that. So I really appreciate like the family aspect that you feel when you join the team.
No, that's awesome. And now you play at Indiana Wesleyan College, right? And
Yes.
what grade are you currently? What grade? What what year are you in right now in your studies?
So grade-wise, I'm going to be a senior, but because of COVID and everything, I got an extra year of eligibility.
Nice.
So the goal is to go back, and so I'll technically be like a junior, but
Very cool.
So,
and what are you studying?
So I'm an exercise science major, and then I'm double minoring in graphic design and coaching.
Oh, so are you looking to become a coach after your playing days?
Yeah, probably. Like the goal right now is to go back to school and get my master's in business administration, and then possibly be like an assistant coach or grad assistant for the team at Indiana Wesleyan, and then possibly start coaching and then go into like an athletic director or sports information director role. Something along those lines is what I'm thinking right now.
Very cool. This weekend, you have a big matchup here, your third game in the UWS 2 League. You'll be playing AFC Plymouth. Now, AFC Plymouth coming into the game with no wins, have the largest goal differential in the league. Going into a match like that, Lauren, do you take a team like that for granted?
No. We definitely try to play our game and just come out with high intensity and high energy and give everything. Because when you take a team like that for granted, it can come and hurt you in the end. So we're going to try to come out strong, put a few away in the beginning, and then keep rolling from there.
Wow, Lauren. Well, thank you very much, Lauren, for being a part of this today, and look forward to seeing you here in action on Saturday night at 9 p.m. against AFC Plymouth.
Of course. Super excited.
Well, great. We're going to be welcoming Justice Tillotson now here to join us here. She got the assist here on Saturday afternoon at noon.
Am I going right now? Okay.
You are going on right now.
I'm here. Hi.
Just hop right in.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm excited to train tonight.
Well, good. Well, we're excited to have you on here, our weekly podcast. Tonight we're talking to you because you had the assist here on Saturday afternoon. And there was a debate. The debate early on, me and at least Rudy were talking about this, is whether or not in soccer, are there dual assists? Can you give 2 assists in soccer? And we've been talking about this because it's not necessarily this well-known thing. It's always just been one. So, but Jana put a great ball in. It came off, I believe, your toe, and it just happened to land right in front of Lauren, who put it in.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It was definitely supposed to be a shot off my toe. So, I'm not perfect whatsoever, but I'm glad we put it in the back. That's all we needed to do in the end of it all. So. No,
that's awesome. And obviously, and that was a tough game, the first loss of the season for you against a good competition in DCFC.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their first game of the season. What are your thoughts on DCFC? I mean, do you play with some of these players in your normal college, leagues?
Yeah, I used to play with Gabby Tremonti. She played at Vardar with me in club season. So she and I used to be good friends, and I know her level and her talent. She's really the only one that I know of, but I've heard great things from everyone. I always looked up to DCFC growing up, so it's definitely a cool experience to be able to play against them, and they're one to look out for moving forward.
Yeah, no, and they are, and I believe you guys matched up very well against them on Saturday. Just some bad luck there. The wind on Saturday, for those that didn't know, was a weird wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour. The ball would hang up there in the wind, and it definitely had an impact on that game.
Yeah, I for sure wish we could have gotten a different result, but wind, everything really came into play, and we just didn't seem to finish. So
now, late in the first half, a player you came in contact with a player from DCFC, and you went down in pain, and you actually happened right in front of us. So we could tell that you were in some in pain. At first I thought maybe possibly like a knee because of the way that you were reacting, but obviously that wasn't the case. So walk us through what happened there and how your leg's holding up now.
Well, if I'm honest, I had been pretty disappointed in the referees. So people continued to get taken out and nobody was getting calls. So I had my fingers crossed that maybe I could start getting some calls for us if I went down hard enough. And it was just a late hit to my shin and I dropped and it hurt. Didn't feel good, but I came back and I'm fine now, feeling good. Just a little bit of ice and a nice bruise.
Well, I could tell as someone who was watching the game from, the press box that clearly that you were frustrated. And later on in the game, I think that some of your reaction in regards to frustration was apparent. There were some late tackles by you. One that I think early on you could have gotten a yellow card.
Yes, I would agree.
That shove that you had there in the first part of the second half, and then clearly that slide tackle at the end earned you a clear yellow card. But how do you find that balance? Because I know that you play in Big Ten soccer. And there's a varying degree in what you would consider to be quality refereeing between the Big Ten and even the leagues that you're in here. There'll be just in where you go in the state of Michigan. But how do you keep your cool?
Honestly, a lot of it has to do with the vibe of the team. So as long as we're all building each other up, we can move forward together. And no referee is going to be perfect ever. I don't expect them to be. But when it becomes dangerous and just flat out threatening for the girls, I will definitely put myself out there and make it clear that girls are going to get hurt. And if I have to be the one to hurt them to make that clear, then I shall do that if the game shows that.
Obviously in a soccer way.
Yes, in a soccer way. Not in a bad way. Oh, Lord.
I want to make sure I make that clear here on live television. So, well, Justice, thank you very much for joining us this evening on this first ever edition of Rebels Weekly. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you here in the future and look forward to seeing you here on Saturday night against AFC Plymouth.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. We'll take a quick break. When we come back here, we'll be joined by Cam Verona. He is the goalkeeper here for the men's team. He'll be back with us here in a few moments right here on the Open Road Network, which is live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We'll be right back here after this break. So welcome back here to Rebels Weekly, a weekly podcast that covers all things Rebel soccer here on the Open Road Network. I'm looking here at Mr. Cam Verona. Cam, are you there?
Yeah, right here.
All right, man. So Cameron, you are the goalkeeper for the Rebels FC. I've had a chance to call your name here a number of times here in the last few weeks. The first of which was in an MPSL game back here about a week ago against was it Sporting Club 1924?
Yep.
It was actually your first night in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken, because you had driven, I said on the air, 3,000 miles from Georgia, but more like 924.
Something like that, yeah. bit of a long stretch of road, a lot of straight, not a lot of turns, but honestly, the drive wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was definitely one of those moments where you're sitting in the car, and after you get to your destination, you just kind of think, wow, I don't know how I'm alive right now because I don't remember anything I just did.
Yeah, obviously for someone that's driven to Florida a number of times into Myrtle Beach, which is about 13, 14 hours, I know what that's like. Mm-hmm. But you drove from 75-degree weather to that night, I think it was outside it was rainy and like 55. And then the next time that we did a game there, it was even colder. We're like, welcome to Michigan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was told by pretty much everybody that same night was welcome to Michigan. This is our summer right here. I thought I was crazy personally for not bringing my heavy winter coat up here. I was like, no, it's summer. I'm not going to need it. I'm going to look like somebody from the South who has too much of expectations for the North. And, I kind of wish I brought my heavy coat now.
Well, well, we always have our heavy coats here. No, nonetheless. But so Cam, you're the goalkeeper here. For the Rebels men's team, you're going to be playing here as well on Saturday in the final leg of the Riverfront, Riverfront Champions Cup. That's in Kalamazoo. Last week, you guys won 5-3.
Yeah,
against what I would consider to be a subpar opponent. Not saying that they didn't play hard, but they didn't necessarily match up very well to you.
No, it's always interesting when you show up and your opponent, again, not saying anything about them much like you, they show up 2 minutes after kickoff and try to get a match started. Not saying anything about the club or the representation. The players are class. It was a good environment. They were very professional. They held up their standard well. They just the pieces didn't fall together for them that day, and we were able to take care of business as it were. But I think for all things considered, we did make it a little bit interesting for people to watch, which on a other note, we wish we would have gotten out of there with the shutout, but unfortunately things don't always happen that way. No,
they don't. And, one thing I was going to say is that, obviously you don't want, when you have an opponent like that on Sunday, you want to put them away as quickly as possible. And during my broadcast, I mentioned you guys went to halftime 3-0. And I mentioned that the next goal in this game is really, really important, because if Rain FC scores coming out of the half, it goes from 3-0, 3-1. It makes it a game. Momentum swing, and momentum did swing in their favor after you scored that fourth goal. And had you not scored that fourth goal, I think that game becomes a different game. I think that they because they were clawing their way back in, they were getting more dangerous in the second half. Not to say that it wasn't because you guys weren't self-inflicting yourself either, but it was a combination of factors. But when you have a team like that, if you let them hang around, they can come back and they can bite you.
Yeah, and that was our main concern as well. We were just coming at the half. We thought to ourselves, hey, we really need to finish the drill here. Like 3 goals is fine, but we really should have been up 6 already, and we needed to take care of business on our end. And we came out and were able to get that next goal out of the half right past them, and it was a good start to the half. But teams like that, I don't think personally for us as a squad that there was ever any doubt that we were going to get the result we needed, but there were just moments where I think collectively we all assumed that after the fourth goal and realized that maybe a couple of lapses of focus, myself included, caused them to hang around longer than they should have. Yeah,
nonetheless. Cam, you obviously are, you play at Pepperdine, right?
Play at what now?
Pepperdine?
Piedmont.
I apologize. Piedmont in Georgia. And you are playing here in Michigan this summer. What brought you to Michigan and the Rebels FC?
So that was an interesting turn of events. I was honestly going to sign with a USL opponent, East Atlanta FC in Georgia, and we were going to kick off our season pretty early on, as the Southeast Conference always does. And we were going to go down there, and I was going to go in for them and train with them all summer. But the way the pieces were going to fall there is that I probably wasn't going to see very many minutes there, but you never know. I can't make those type of claims right now because I didn't go. But I know that personally I've known Rudy for many years, and him and I have always kept in touch, and he just kind of said in passing the opportunity to come play in Michigan. And at the time I was like, oh, I'm really far along with this club in Atlanta. I'm really looking forward to starting the season with them. But after a while of not receiving any paperwork, I talked to Rudy and was like, well, what's the situation? And he mentioned a really good opportunity here to not only see another part of the country, but try to take the next step in doing what I ultimately always wanted to do, is become a pro. And I think that being able to come up here in this environment, I was nothing short of impressed with the environment, facilities, the culture of the team. I don't think I've gelled with the team any faster than I have with Rebels. And at the moment, I've been up here almost the end of 2 weeks now, and I couldn't be happier in Michigan.
Well, that makes at least one of you. So, well, Cam, man, thank you for being a part of this and helping me out tonight as well with the technical side of this. I appreciate that. Maybe because it's getting dark, we can actually turn the camera, just turn the whole tripod and face the lights. That way there's more light behind us. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a look at the highlights here from this past weekend. And we come back here. We have Ray Yokoyama here, who is part of the Rebels program as well. So we'll have him back here in just a second. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
So welcome back here to Rebels Weekly. That was the highlights from this past Saturday and Sunday. It's part of DCFC matchup on Saturday against your Rebels and the Rain FC 5-3 matchup, where your Rebels FC beat Rain FC, like I said, 5-3 here in the Riverfront Champions Cup in Kalamazoo. They have their matchup this weekend. Let's take a look actually at the upcoming games here this weekend. On Saturday, we've got the Rebels men versus West Michigan Bearings at 10 a.m. here as part of that, as I said before, as part of that Riverfront Champions Cup tournament. And then Rebels FC UWS 2 League matchup here, the third match of the season, will be played against AFC Plymouth here at home at 9 p.m. That's your game of the week here on Rebels FC. And then on Sunday, the MPSL will play Corktown at 5:30, and then your MUSL team will play the WHAM at 6 p.m. And then on Monday, Rebels UPSL friendly versus Cedars FC at 8:30 p.m. at OU, their home field in Rochester Hills, Michigan.
This is Henry.
So we're waiting for some people to join us here again from Rebels FC's training facility in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Again, want to remind you. Oh my God, there's Robert Brinkman, the man, the myth, the legend.
How's it going, John?
I'm good, man. How are you? Robert Brinkman is, well, he's the owner of Rebels FC. It started with him back in 2016. I think it's about right. Maybe 2015.
Roughly, yeah.
So why don't you tell our audience, our viewers, you know, the idea behind what you're trying to accomplish here with this program, with this club?
I mean, basically, we just want to be an opportunity for these college kids during the summer.
Oh, we lost sound. Lost sound. I don't know what happened. We lost the sound. Cam, you went through this a second ago. We're going to kick it from the studio probably and then redo it. There it is. Again, this is what happens when you do live stuff. But as I was talking about before, the game of the week here coming up here on Saturday, June 5th, Rebels FC taking on AFC Plymouth here. Again, AFC Plymouth right now is 0-2, and your Rebels FC are 1-1 right now in the. And we'll welcome them back here now. Here we go. What up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So you were just talking about the club and you know what you've got started here, and
yeah. So basically, we started in 2016. We wanted to be an option for college kids that wanted to play in the summer. We want to be an option for high school athletes that are looking to become part of something a little bit more intense, playing against the college athletes, and just get a taste of that next level. And also with the college athletes that have just graduated who still want to continue to play and play in that high level. So we've done everything from the grassroots all the way up to the national leagues, and we continue to grow, and our purpose is just to help everybody out.
No, and talking with all the players we've talked to tonight, you know, the same sentiment's been true. You know, family has been a word that they've used. Competitive. You know, they've talked about very highly of the Rebels FC program and what we're, you know, what you're doing, what we're doing here at the Rebels. And obviously that's a testament to the culture and the foundation that you've created. And that's what's breeding more and more people to want to be a part of this. And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this. This is our first ever podcast tonight with a number of broadcasts, and we continue to evolve. And I'm excited about the future of Rebels.
Yeah, and we truly appreciate everything that you've done this year in this small, short of time. It's truly amazing to have you on board, and we continue to do this on such a different level that we've done in the past, and hopefully we continue to grow and be options for all of these players and go about it that way.
Yeah, we want players to get comfortable in front of the camera because I'll be having them on every week. You know, we're going to do like we're doing right now every week, just have, you know, live from Rebels FC training in Rochester Hills, Michigan, and we'll interview coaches just like this. I already played the highlights from this past weekend, and we'll continue to market and showcase what Rebels FC is all about, which is family. It's about fun. It's about being competitive, passionate, hardworking, all the traits that I know that are very, you know, near and dear to you and your heart. So, Robert, we're excited about the future of Rebels. I'm excited to be a part of it, and I want to thank you for being a part of it tonight.
Thank you for your time, John. I appreciate you. And
is Ray nearby? Because Ray was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'll get you Ray right now. Right, give me 2 seconds and I'll grab Ray for you.
All right, man.
All right. Hey, Ray. Ray, I need you on camera.
So yeah, we're here right now. It's you know, this is what we're going to be doing every single week. So I would encourage you to tell your parents, your friends, your family that we're going to have a possibility for anyone to hop on the mic here and camera each and every week here on the Open Road Network's Rebels FC weekly podcast. You know, some new marketing stuff that we've been doing here these last couple of days, and we've been getting out there and getting our camera on, so to speak. But here's a new marketing piece here we're doing for our ladies here for the UWS2 team. These are all the players here for the squad here coming up this Saturday at 9 p.m. So we're welcome Mr. Ray Yokoyama here to the show now. Ray, man, welcome, man.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a little dark out for practice, but
yeah, I was gonna say they said the lights got turned off there. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
But so Ray, you know, on Saturday, you came in as a sub in the second half, and you scored the fourth goal of the game.
That's right.
It was actually kind of an interesting goal because I know when I'm not sure if it was Shea that knocked it back all the way to you, but someone came in and dribbled into the box and then came back and across the top of the 18, and you were there as a left back.
That's right.
With a low driven shot.
That's right. Yeah.
So walk us through it.
I mean, it's what I believe they won it on the right side, won the corner, or won the battle in the corner, put the ball in front of the net, and put some bodies on bodies, and we put it in. So
now the fact that it didn't touch anybody on the way in, because it was a low shot, and I don't know if I'm assuming people tried to stop it, but low driving shot, and it went right into the side corner.
That's right.
But I know there was an argument that maybe someone might have gotten a piece of that on the way into the goal.
I aimed it left. It went to the right corner. But that's the thing. Like being a professional, you gotta take those goals. You know.
Now, Ray, me and you had a chance to meet here a number of years ago when I was coaching at Groves High School, and you know you've been part of Rebels for a long time now.
That's right.
What brought you to the Rebels, and what keeps you at the Rebels?
Honestly, it's a great organization. I'm all about like giving to the community and whatnot, and I think that Rebels is for that. So I believe representing them is a good life choice.
Now, Ray, you currently, or are you still with the club at Oak University?
No, I actually graduated last winter, I believe. I don't really remember the last semester of school, unfortunately, because of COVID. But
Yep.
yeah, honestly, I graduated with a biology major, which I'm most likely not going to be using as I'm stepping into the coaching world as a profession. But
Okay, well,
yeah, so no longer part of the women's club.
So I was talking earlier about I was talking with Cam, and I mentioned this. You know, you play a team on Sunday that, in all aspects, was an inferior opponent. When I say inferior, I don't mean that to be a negative, but they didn't stack up to you guys. You were a better team, and they clawed their way back into that game.
Yeah.
What do you have to say as a veteran, as part of this club? To the young guys, so those types of things don't happen on a regular basis, because they can. You can get in front of a team and start strong, and then you find yourself in a hole towards the end. How do you keep younger players, involved and engaged so that doesn't happen?
That's the thing. They just got to know that the soccer games are 90-minute games, and anything can happen. Teams could be up 1-0 going into the 89th, and they might lose 2-1. So just staying engaged. And that's the thing, like translating it from practice onto the pitch in an actual game, that's crucial. So honestly, like, what I truly believe in is that practices should be harder than games. So if, as an organization, if as a group of men, you have the ability to recreate a better atmosphere in practices, maybe it'll translate into actual games.
Well, no, it's a great message, because it's true. It is 185% true, and you said you want to become a coach and be a coach, and that's exactly what a coach should say. So, Ray, man, thank you very much. Great goal on Sunday, and I look forward to seeing more of you here this summer.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries, man. Thank you. I think we now have the head coach of the girls' side, the UWS2 League team, Mr. Rudy Radiger. I believe he's nearby, possibly. Well, he's coming. So we'll be joining us here in a second. So, there's a big matchup this weekend, and any league game where you have a chance to grab 3 points is an important and crucial one. I mentioned earlier that this big game here on Saturday at 9 p.m. is with AFC Plymouth, based out of Plymouth, Michigan. I feel like it's getting... Oh, did the lights come back on there at OU?
Our phone flashlights are, but yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Look at those.
Teamwork.
We're just waiting for Rudy Radiger to hop in here. But this matchup on Saturday is one that's, to me, is an interesting one. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Rudy has to say. When you look at a squad that currently right now in the table is currently at the very bottom. And this could be a statement game for the Rebels. It could be a statement game for the AFC Plymouth. I'm interested to see what people have to say, what Rudy has to say about this. So we'll wait for him here to join us here in a second. In the meantime, let's look at right now at the standings right now here. As you can see right now, Corktown AFC 2, they're currently right now sitting at the top of it with 4 points. They played in 2 games, 1 win, 1 tie. They're 1-0-1. The Thundercats have played a game. They got 3 points. North Oakland's got 3 points. Rebels FC have 1 point. 3 points. Michigan Stars have 3. Grand Haven have 1. Detroit City did win here on Saturday, so they should have 3 points. So they should be in there as well. But nonetheless, what up, Rudy?
The camera. Hello.
Well, welcome here, sir, to Rebels Weekly, our first ever edition of the podcast. Rudy, you are the head coach of the UWS2 women's team here at Rebels. I want to talk here about Saturday, this past Saturday. A tough loss to DCSC. I think a good team. They're not a bad team. Thought you matched up well against them. Just fell short. Had some bad luck, some bad bounces. What were your overall thoughts on the game?
Well, the overall thoughts of my game is if we take care of business and the ladies play like I know they can, that game's a little bit different or a lot different. So the elements and things, we could make excuses. But in the end of the day, we've got to take care of our own business and do what we need to do and play the style that we're doing. And when we do that, I put my money, and I told them that before and after the game. I'll put my money on this team any day of the week if we do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point. And and Justice, Tillotson, who we interviewed her earlier, she was talking about. We talked about frustration, and I know that you, as a head coach, have been frustrated with the way the games have been managed on the officiating side. Not that that's a factor in the game, but it can have an impact on players' frustration levels as well as coaches, and that does play into how teams play. How much stake do you put in that with your team?
Well, I think from a player's perspective, you have to move on from it and let me manage that as best I can. And because if they focus on, those are the things we can't control.
Correct.
And in the weather and the wind and the surface, we can't control those things. And so we have to control what we can control. That's our effort and plan our style.
Okay. No, it's great. And it's a great point because, again, I know that frustration can have an impact on players' mindset during the course of a game, and it can boil over into where players get yellow cards or things that maybe they wouldn't have gotten had that not happened. Let's talk about this weekend. You have a game here against ASD Plymouth. ASD Plymouth right now is at the bottom of the table. They've let the most goals in. They look by all accounts like a weaker team. It's still early in the summer, so that can change very rapidly. What's your take on this game?
I mean, we take every game one game at a time. And I was telling the girls earlier tonight, it's the summer. You can't take into one result to another. We've got a lot of people, a lot of moving parts throughout all these teams across the league and the UWS2 in our conference. So if you read into a result here and there, you'll not be prepared. You won't be ready. And so you can't look at them and say they're worse or they're better or this or that or the other, because Saturday's a new day and it could be a totally new team.
Yeah.
There's, rosters are changing all the time. And I know we'll have probably 4 or 5 players who will make their UWS2, debuts on Saturday or the next game after that. And then you've got 20 more players that are being considered for games later, just on our roster. So to look at a team and say they're not good, maybe their results weren't good. But I know players that are on that AFC Plymouth team, and we'd be really naive to not expect them to come for a really good game.
Yeah. No, and I expect the same. I say it's a very interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think AFC will come to the game when they want to prove something, and you guys as well. And you're coming off a tough loss, and what a better way to make a statement to come in and take care of business against AFC Plymouth here on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be great to be at home for the first time. We've been on the road for the first 2 games, and we got a good result in Grand Haven. We didn't really talk about that, but I do know we were until when I looked last, we were the only team in UWS2 that's won on the road. So it'd be nice to come home after suffering a defeat at the Canton Cup against DCFC and play on a good surface. That'll let us do a little bit more, and hopefully we'll have some fans not only watching live but coming out to the stadium here.
Yeah, no, Rudy, man, thank you very much for your input tonight. The interview, you were the first ever. Well, Rob was here, but you're the first head coach here to interview here on this program, which is fantastic. And look forward to hearing from you each and every week here as part of this new weekly podcast called Rebels FC Weekly. So, thank you for being a part of this.
Appreciate it, John. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
You're very welcome. So, guys, that's the first ever edition of Rebels Weekly here at the weekly podcast. It comes out here every single Thursday night at 9 p.m. We'll cover results and stats and standings and look at what's going on with Rebel Soccer. We'll talk with the players themselves, give them an opportunity to talk about their game, talk about what's going on, and more importantly, give people an opportunity to tune in and watch and learn more about Rebel Soccer. To learn more about Rebel Soccer, go to rebelsoccerfc.net. You can also go to their Facebook page, Rebels FC, Instagram, MIR Rebels FC, and Twitter, which is Rebels FC. So to learn more about all the things that we're doing, and don't forget to tune in here to the game here on Saturday night. That's right here live on YouTube at 9 p.m. Be announced here as part of our Game of the Week, Rebels FC Game of the Week. Your Rebels FC playing against ASD Plymouth from Rochester Hills, Michigan, Oakland University, 758 Pioneer Drive in Rochester Hills. My name's Jonathan Turner. You've been watching and listening to this show, the Rebels FC Weekly Podcast here, live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you here next time, next Thursday, same time, same place, right here on the Open Road Network.